In this episode, we will explore series Hong Kong IPO and why Western Chinese companies are flocking to list in Hong Kong. Hear from Yue-Sai, a cultural ambassador who continues to bridge East and West in the age of social media. Explore Chongqing's secondhand culture and how young people are turning old into the new trend. Finally, review this week's top Chongqing stories that have captured global attention. As global capital takes a fresh look at China, a wave of high-tech companies from Western China is stepping onto the international stage. Recently, Chongqing-based automaker series listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, raising 14 billion Hong Kong dollars, the largest automotive IPO in China in 2025.
At the same time, Chongqing companies such as Safari and Avatar are also preparing for Hong Kong listings, while the biopharma sector is likewise attracting strong global interest.
Now let's dive into this episode of Bridging News to understand the growing synergy between Western China enterprises and the international market.
Chongqing Automaker Series recently completed its stock offering in Hong Kong. The capital raised amounts to approximately $1.83 billion. In the current market, this IPO stands out as exceptionally successful. For Chongqing and Western China, what does it mean for an inland new energy vehicle company to step into the spotlight of global capital market? What underlying trends are driving this success? Looking at China's economic landscape, the Western region has long been regarded as an underdeveloped basin. Not only it is geographically distant from China's A-share exchange markets in Shanghai, Shenzhen, and Beijing, as well as the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, but also its local industrial structure has been dominated by energy, resource, and traditional manufacturing. However, a new wave of emerging enterprises from here is gaining prominence. Fast forward to the past 5 years, new listings are concentrated in emerging fields like electronic chips, medical devices and services, and aerospace, packed with technological sophistication. Advanced manufacturing from Chongqing and biopharmaceutical from Chengdu are adopting a longer-term strategy as well. Returning to series, its collaboration with the Huawei on iTo brand has achieved massive success in the high-end market. Let's also take a look at the other two Chongqing carmaker going public in Hong Kong. Safari already submitted its IPO application in October, and Avatar, the new energy vehicle company jointly established by Chang'an, CATL, and Huawei, is preparing to file for its listing in Hong Kong in the fourth quarter, targeting approximately $1 billion. Chongqing possesses a well-established automobile production capacity and supply chain cluster. In the biopharmaceutical sector, Sichuan's Kunlun Biotech listed in July 2023. Another Chengdu-based biopharmaceutical, BioKing, secured joint sponsorship from Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and CITIC Securities. So it is evident that China's West, where Chengdu and Chongqing are located, are increasingly viewed as new growth poles. Finally, let's discuss why one should consider going public in Hong Kong. The Hong Kong Stock Exchange is primarily driven by institutional investors, and they adopt a more prudent approach to valuation. Within this environment, investment targets are more likely to attract the favor of long-term and international capital. For the enterprises, Hong Kong serves not only as a platform for securing one-time capital raising, but also as a fulcrum. From Series' successful IPO to Safari's ongoing listing application and Avatar's planned debut, the trajectory is becoming clear. High-tech enterprises from China's West, Chengdu and Chongqing, are leveraging Hong Kong's international financial market to transform themselves from regional players into global participants.
When it comes to cross-cultural communication, one iconic figure stands out. Yue-Sai, often described as the woman who helped the world understand China and China understand the world.
In the 1970s, her program Looking East became the first US television show to introduce Chinese and Asian cultures. In the 1980s, she created and hosted One World, China's first travel program, opening a window to the world for millions.
In today's social media era, how will she continue to bridge East and West? Let's hear her story.
我非常有幸有这个机会，真正的知道现在的中国是怎么样的样子。
Yue-Sai is widely celebrated for her pioneering role in building cultural bridges between China and the United States. In the 1970s, her groundbreaking TV program Looking East became the first of its kind in the U.S. to introduce Asian cultures, including China, to American viewers. In the following decade, invited by China Central Television, she created and hosted China's first travel TV program, One World.
Hello, I'm Yue-Sai. Welcome to One World.
One World, offering millions of Chinese people their very first window to the world beyond. Now, decades later, Yue-Sai returns with a new One World program, this time on social media. Let's hear how she continues to connect the East and the West in this new era.
The new program is a social media program, but today the audience has changed. The audience really wants to see very short pieces. The most that probably they can watch is maybe 10 minutes, but sometimes they only watch a minute, a few minutes, right? So in order for me to promote a culture, Chinese culture, I decided to use a social media platform. I do them very short, 3 minutes to 10 minutes, that's it. You like my lipstick? We are in Hangzhou. In Thailand, I just started this social media series, One World, and I started it just about less than a year ago. Right now, we have almost 1 million subscribers. And in addition to that, we already have about 35 million viewers that view the series. So I think it has been very, very successful. And it's a right way to promote culture. You know, in the old days when you're doing a documentary series, everything is serious, formal, very important, lights, camera angle, everything has to be absolutely perfect before you shoot it, right? But in this particular case, in the social media, everything is loose. And I had to get used to it. I would just, if the cameraman comes to me and says, and asks me a question, I would immediately answer without rehearsal and without script. And so everything is authentic.
能用3个词来形容一下重庆吗？
美美美. China has always been a mysterious place for a lot of people outside of China. Because seriously, very few people know China at all. When I first started television Looking East, nobody knew China. Unfortunately, even today, very few people know China, right? So in a way, you can really do, if you want to promote China or describe China, you can do it from any angle you want because everything is new. You're still doing something new. So there's a lot to talk about. I'm very involved with a charity organization called China Institute of America. It is through this organization that a lot of thousands and thousands of Americans, and Chinese too, learn how to speak Chinese. In fact, it was the first one in New York City that get the permission to teach Chinese. Last year, we opened the first culinary center. Now, a culinary center is to teach people what Chinese food is all about. It is necessary. So let me explain. For example, in America, how many Chinese restaurants have Michelin stars? Can you tell me how many? 2. So basically, the Chinese are very bad in promoting themselves. So we have to learn to promote correctly.
Yumi, have you noticed that more and more young people are getting into secondhand shopping?
Absolutely, Alex. One of my friends goes treasure hunting every weekend because she says you can always find something unique. And she's not alone. Flea markets and secondhand shops are becoming hotspots for young people in Chongqing.
The shift from buying new to embracing the old reflects a broader change in youth consumption attitudes. Let's take a closer look at how Chongqing's young people are giving secondhand culture a fresh, modern twist.
What defines happiness in modern China? For decades, it was all about owning more. Bigger homes, newer brands, faster upgrades. But something is changing. Across China, a new way of consuming is emerging, one that values creativity, sustainability, and individuality over endless buying. And nowhere this shift clearer than in the rise of the second-hand economy. 们东家西 flea market. To find out more, we're heading into the heart of Chongqing to explore how people here are giving new life to an old things and how new generation is redefining what it means to consume.
Actually, I do not resist second-hand things. I think as long as it is something good, if I like it, I can buy it. Most of the people who come here to stroll around are young, but some middle-aged and elderly people also enjoy visiting.
Across China, thrift markets like this are drawing young consumers not for low prices but for authenticity. Gen Z, born between 1995 and 2010, now makes up almost 20% of China's population. They're digital natives, creative thinkers, and they crave individuality in everything they buy. While you're traveling, do you usually go to the secondhand market?
Yeah, everywhere I go, I like to check it out. I went to Chongqing and I saw it there, and yeah, everywhere that I go.
Well, why do you prefer to buy the secondhand, not the new things? Do you like saving money, or it's unique stuff, or the history?
I think it's definitely a mix of unique stuff and the history. I love history. I love the modern history, the 20th century, everything that happened then. And I love going to the vintage markets because they have a lot of that stuff. I think with the rise of technology, there has been a disconnect within this current generation to actual physical things. They see a lot of online and they do a lot of things online. So when they see older generations and on vintage things, I think they really gravitate towards that and connect to that and feel that that is part of them.
In your wardrobe, do you find like lots of secondhand pieces?
Actually, I do. I have bags. I have vintage bags. So I'm here actually looking for something like special, like bags or accessories. Yes, I guess it's something unique right now because all teenagers right now are trying to be unique and something like specifically can sign or highlight their style. So I guess vintage markets actually serves like that.
In a culture once defined by newness, the shift towards reusing and revaluing marks a deeper emotional transformation. Here, consumption isn't about owning things, it's about discovering identity through them.
This week, Chongqing continues to shine on the international stage. Let's take a look at the stories that have captured global attention.
Recently, Chongqing's issuance of China's first formal license plates dedicated to Level 3 autonomous driving has attracted significant attention from both domestic and international media. Outlets such as Reuters, Bloomberg, and Nikkei have all published special reports on the topic. Additionally, the global release of the documentary The Return of Kukan has become a focal point for international media. A total of 169 global media outlets, including American Press, Yahoo Finance, and India's journal News Today, published 178 articles, accumulating over 88 million views worldwide. YouTube vlogger at Yue-Sai posted a video on the construction of the Chongqing high-speed railway. The advanced engineering technology displayed in the video successfully captured the attention of overseas netizens. To date, the video has garnered over 2.39 million views and 8,600 likes.
That's all for today's episode. Thanks to everyone for watching, and thanks to Piyumi for her wonderful insights.
Thanks, Alex, and thank you all for watching. We will bring you more stories from Chongqing next time.
Let's meet showcasing new Chongqing to the world. I'm your host, Alex. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
And I'm Piyumi. Bye-bye.